Hi everyone, welcome back to SGDA Student Game Showcase Section B. We're here with the team from A Deep World from USC. Hi, I'm Jason again, and Anush, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Definitely. This is Anuj, and I'm here with Jose, the creator and director of A Deep World. Jose, would you like to introduce yourself and go ahead and get started with the game?
Awesome. Well, hello everyone. My name is Jose Striedinger. I'm from USC, a recent MS graduate, and I'm one of the creators of Deep World. So let me get on right to sharing the project with you guys. Give me a sec.
Absolutely. And while we're on that, I guess the first question that I like to ask is, where did the premise and concept of this game come from? How did it get started? And yeah.
Yeah. So Deep World comes from intermediate graduate class. Pretty much, it was a project created for people, and the idea originally actually came from a lot of experimentation, in the sense that for everyone not familiar with it, at the beginning of that class, you do like 3 weeks of experimentation. Like, what would you like to do? Just do weekly experimentations, and my teammate at the moment wanted to do something with 2D procedural animations, and which is great because none of us know a lot about, like, let's just call it classical animation, 2D or 3D animation. So procedural animation turned out to be a great way to make a world and some characters very alive without actually doing like spreadsheet animations or anything like that.
Yes.
So that's how it started, and then I guess naturally when we thought about setting, I thought of idea of underwater world, and then we went to a visit to the California Science Center to check out like the aquatic exhibitions and all that, and we just thought that it was really cool to see other aquatic creatures and tentacles and things moving and stuff like that. So we felt like this would be like a great way to put in procedural animation into work, and yeah, that's pretty much how the initial concept came to be.
And for folks who intermediate is a semester-long game-making project at USC, where you kind of learn to make a game in a semester, and it is a time. Intermediate's fun. How long have you been developing this beyond your intermediate class, or when did you take it?
Yeah, so intermediate was more than a year ago. So this is definitely, I mean, what you're looking here in the screen is kind of like, well, not an old version, but like a version for like a month ago or something. And I've been working on it pretty much like a year, like the whole 2024, in a very informal way, I guess. It was like, this is a way for me to know more about Unity game development, but also like a personal project. So yeah, kind of like a year. Well, by now it will be like a year and a half, and it's currently on Steam. It's currently in Epic Game Store, like on coming soon and everything. So I have the reminder of, like, I'm gonna finish it this summer. That's a good way to like pressure yourself to put some kind of deadline. But yeah, kind of like a year and a half by now. Yes.
I just dropped the link into our chat for the audience to take a look at.
Yeah, I can also share the links later. It's Steam, Epic Game Store, as well, of course, on itch.io, which is like, on itch.io is the current version that you guys are seeing right now. Yeah, you have other questions, or?
Yeah, definitely. I think we have, in general, what were some of the like highs and lows of development throughout the process? Because since it's been developing for more than just kind of like a class period, I imagine things were fun sometimes.
Yeah, well, definitely the highest. Okay, let me think. Okay, so one of the lowest that I recently encountered, or at least pretty much like working on, is that it's not currently in the version that you see on the screen, but I implemented a big flocking algorithms. So you can have, for example, like 500 fishes swimming around, evading obstacles, evading the player like it's a predator, stuff like that. And And from some playtesting, people have really liked that. But that is such a big, what's the word I'm looking for? Big thing to be optimized, because otherwise
yeah.
the frame rate drops to like 10 or something like that. So that is like one thing that recent weeks people have told me like, oh, you have to put that in the game. That looks so good. But now I'm trying to find a way to actually make it work, because it's way too. It's not very optimal right now. So that's like a technical thing that I'm working on right now. Besides that, it was also the fact that a design constraint that I personally have, and I dare to say is also reflected of other like game stuff that I do, is the fact that I like to, as much as possible, visually tell the player what is happening. I don't like to have text or stuff like that. So for example, in this game, pretty much the only text is at the beginning with the title and the main menu, and that's pretty much it. So that was something that required a lot of play testing, because of course you design something that, oh, this happens here, and then the character would do this sound, and then something like this would happen, and oh, that's pretty straightforward. The player will understand what's going on, but it's not that straightforward. So that little things of not having text or voice acting to tell the player what's happening or what's supposed to what's happening, that require a lot of play testing to figure out like, okay, now this is definitely, at least to a certain degree, that the majority of people will understand what is happening.
Because a lot of the times when people try that, it like doesn't work super well, because you try and show, don't tell, then you tell too little, so all of a sudden it's like, what is happening? But
yeah,
like you said, playtesting tells you a lot.
Sorry?
Playtesting tells you a lot.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I think that's one of the. I think was one of the best thing that I got from that class, because for people who don't know, in the intermediate class, we pretty much we're playtesting every week. So I guess any good game designer knows that it's more about ideas. It's about the fact of playtesting your ideas to see that it's actually landing the way that you think you are. Because of course you are, as a designer, a developer, you're probably your worst critic. Even if you're making stuff for yourself, of course you know how it works. You don't understand everything. You've been looking at the screen for like months and months. You know how it's going. So that was some interesting challenge, because also, as you can see in the game, it's technically quite simple to play. You just move around, you can swim, and you have like one action, which is like this call over here, and with the call different things happen. But also because it's like, I wanted to make it very simple to play, like, because of course I'm not gonna tell the player press X to make a call or something like that. So I wanted to be accessible in the way, like a kid can play this game, and maybe even an older person can play this game. It's not very complicated to get around with right away. But that also required a lot of play testing. That also required a lot of play testing to get to
like
that
you
point.
mentioned about like minimal UI and minimal like text on the screen, of just let the player learn by themselves.
Correctly. Let the player know by themselves, right?
Oh.
Yeah. So, for example, small little things that this is like we see in the screen. It's like the cover. You can hide from monsters, from predators in this inside this like little like what's the word in English?
Coral
kind of like. Kind of like coral reef, kind of like how clownfish hide in those little tentacles, amoeba things. But we try to teach the player in a small cinematic before that's how it works, right?
Like you're able to kind of like, that's what that's for. It's to show them, like, show players like, hey, this is what this does. Please learn, I beg you.
Yeah, exactly. So here, okay, there's a little bug over there, but yeah, here the monster kill you, and the amoebas also serve like some kind of like checkpoint. You start right away, and I can continue talking about that or you have more specific questions.
Feel free to keep talking about that, just because I think the only other questions we have is like a special thanks or the things that you want to
okay.
make given anything like that.
Gotcha. So, I think part of your question about the high and lows. I'll talk about difficulties. I think one of the heights, yeah, is that procedural animation and now flocking algorithms is basically at the bottom of it is a lot of math. So that was really, at least for me, like professionally speaking, that was such a this project has been a great exercise of programming and
Oh,
just
yeah.
math in general and linear algebra stuff like that. And I found out that I really like that. So that was kind of like a technical high for me, and also when, as you can see from the audio, from the lighting, from the movement, stuff like that, like being, I guess, for lack of a better word, very atmospheric is very important to me. Like at the end of the day, it's a good place that feels good to swim around, to go around, stuff like that. And people kind of understood that is an important element of what we were going for, right? That even though is like the controls are very simple, you just move around, you just press a call or something. There's a lot of stuff that's happening beyond the player input, the enemy AI. So, for example, right there, this is like a new type of enemy that can like jump itself to you when it's close enough or stuff like that.
Right.
And here in this particular part, I'm trying to teach the players something else. It is that similar to what we did in the cinematic, that the player will try to, okay, the guy the predator is doing like this patrol around here. I guess maybe when it's up, I can swing fast enough. But usually you can't. It's very, 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 very hard because they're just way faster than you. And maybe okay, maybe I will try on the top, but they will also fail because it's just they're way too faster than you. And the idea is to remind them that there's something else that they can do. There's another action, and that action is that they can press the call, and that like attracts the predator's attention, and then you can do something like this.
And then boom, that's how you get through. Because now
Yes, and
they can't see you anymore.
Yeah. So it's the idea that there's one action technically, just is, I mean, yeah. Besides moving, of you doing the call, and that action have different consequences depending on the context. So this is another context that we have like these gates that then the game is trying to tell you, hey, there's something interesting above here. It's like, oh, okay, what is it? And you try the only thing that you know what to do, is just using the call. And the call kind of like opens a gate for you, kind of like a switch,
right?
Much. And then after teaching that to the player, they are put in a position that, okay, I think you have to press that thing in order to go to open the gate and continue. But if you make a call,
you're gonna attract the predator.
You're gonna attract the predator as well. So you cannot just go there. So you have to find a way around. So that's how that we're playing with. The whole idea is to there's another like two, I guess, situations that we're going to put the player but in the sense it all comes down to one simple mechanic that we have like different consequences depending on what's happening around. So you can distract a monster over here and then go to another place, and while they're busy around, go around and go to the exit. So for example, these little like tunnels over here that we're trying to make the player know that you can go through them, but of course the monsters can't. So you can do something like, let's say, I'm gonna attract the monster, and while this attracting, I could go to the exit, but okay, I need to finish. I need to press the gate. So I can do something like this, maybe.
And now you can move around.
Yeah. But let's see if I make it. All right. Okay, this is because this is a part of a demo, right? This is like an ending that we're trying to finish, which is like a big chase scene, and I will just let it play for a moment.
One thing, we're gonna have to wrap up really quickly, but
okay.
Is there anybody you'd like to shout out or thank before we wrap up?
Yeah, sure. Big shout out to my original teammates of the project in the 532 like a year ago. Matthew Miller, pretty much co-designer and work a lot of animation, and Yuting and Zheng, which are two audio designers and composers from UC Berkeley that work on the beautiful audio design and music that we have. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Right at the end.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming by to speak with us. We'll be having another game to showcase very shortly.
Perfect.
Thank you to Jose for coming by, and we'll see you soon.
Right. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.